These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch next.
Now.
It's 7 a.m.
It's 7 a.m. Time for the opening drive.
Voted the best sports show in New Mexico
For 5 years running. It's the OD in the AM with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Well, blame who you want. It doesn't really matter. You can blame the owners. You can blame the players. You can blame the billionaires. You can blame the millionaires. You can say they only gave them this much of a offer. They didn't move. They didn't budge. You're not getting baseball on opening day. Blame who you want. Be pissed at who you want. Read what you want. Believe who you want. It doesn't really matter. You're not getting baseball on opening day. Believe whoever it is you want to listen to. You're not getting baseball opening day. You're not getting baseball this week if you go to Arizona. If you had your trip to go to spring training, you can still make the trip. You're not getting baseball. You are getting the opening drive. Good morning to you, and Merry Wednesday. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal. Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck. Opening day is now off. When will it open? At some point, it will open. JJ, I don't know that I believe that they're going to let this thing play out forever. But as much as I sat here yesterday and bought into the, well, we're close, we're going to extend the deadline by a day, and I did. They're not close, they say. They're not getting together until tomorrow. They are canceling the first two series. They will not be made up. And it doesn't sound like they are all that close. And I hear a lot, well, the owners aren't budging. I'm not sure I hear the players budging at all either. I mean, is it okay that I blame both sides?
Absolutely. This is on both sides. But the owners are playing the game like baseball isn't making money, which is never going to go over well in any negotiation.
Well, I don't know that they said they're not making money.
Rob Manfred said over the last 5 years, baseball isn't been in a bad spot.
He said that especially through the pandemic.
They show the books, but they don't want to show the books.
Yeah. Here's the deal, and I hear this all the time. Well, the owners don't have baseball without the players. The players are the product, and they're right. That's absolutely right, and the players are handsomely compensated and should be, and I'm all for bringing up the minimum salary. We're playing games now where the players want $725,000 as a minimum salary. It was $675. The owners went up to $700. I mean, that's the kind. We're playing a game about $25,000 per player, which is going to mean a lot to that player. And I think we should be able to get there. But the owner, look, I don't know if this is a fair comparison, but JJ, the radio, you and I are never going to make what the owners of this radio station make, right? They own a radio station. You can say, well, you guys are the product. Well, okay, and I understand that it's easier to replace us than it is to replace Clayton Kershaw. I got it. But in a bit of an analogy, well, right? Well, no, you and I replaced on a regular basis.
We got a Crenshaw potential. Come on.
Crenshaw or Kershaw?
I'm sorry, Kershaw.
Yeah. All right, we might have a Crenshaw. But is that fair? Like we're the product, but we're never going to make what they make. The players are the product. They can't do anything. You're right. And then the owners are the ones who put the risk out, and they're the owners. I mean, that's the people who own the business tend to make more money. Now, I'm not telling you the players shouldn't make money, shouldn't make more money, shouldn't get a bigger share of the pie. But at some point, they got to come together. And I think the point is well past that you and I and the majority of baseball fans don't give a damn.
Ding, ding, ding. This is one where the owners are going to try to point fingers, the players are going to try to point fingers. At this point,
Promise.
no one cares. But I think the more upsetting thing for Major League Baseball,
No.
people aren't going to mind that there's 2 series gone. Like, at what point will it matter? Because, like, it's a shocking headline. Baseball cancels opening day series. All right. People are going to be watching, like, the NBA playoffs and wrapping up other stuff. Like, when's it actually going to hit? Because I think that's a bigger problem, that people are like, all right, so there's 2 weekends of no baseball. I still got 150 some odd games to watch.
So that's true in some places, and certainly, again, true in the conversation we had yesterday, it's true in Albuquerque, New Mexico. You think it's true in St. Louis?
No, I think that's the problem, is it's, for that league, to cancel open series, big headline, doesn't have a big impact across the sports world.
So you think it's a headline in those 32 markets, or those, I guess, 3 markets have 2 teams, so in those 29 markets?
Well, a headline, but I don't even know how impactful it is in some of those markets.
In Chicago, they're really fired up about the Bulls. In L.A., they're desperate for the Lakers to go win. Give me another story. In New York, they're probably thinking about the Nets a little bit. I'm going to tell you, in Philly, in Baltimore, in Milwaukee, in most baseball towns, it will be missed. It'll be missed by the people who work. It'll be missed by the people who have season tickets. It'll be missed by people who travel around and go, dang, I'm going to watch a Pirates game. I'm going to go see that ballpark. I agree with you in the overall landscape of the sports world. The headlines in April and May tend to be NBA playoffs. Baseball has started historically the day or the day after or the day around the NCAA basketball championship, right? That Monday where they play championship. It used to be the Tuesday after was opening day. Now it's like the Sunday before, whenever. But it's always been around that. And the sports calendar in our country is very well aligned. It's amazing how it lines up, right? As soon as the tournament ends, baseball starts, and the Masters is the next week. And I mean, everything's got its place on the calendar. I'll disagree with you a little bit on it won't be missed. I agree in a market like this, where we're going to get Isotopes baseball, and at some point, when will you miss it? But there are baseball fans. Now, they may be older, they may be skewing older, and therein lies a huge problem for baseball itself. The damage that these people, and they're all culpable, all of them, from the owner to the commissioner to the Players Association, they're all culpable. The damage that they can do with a long work stoppage to their game, I don't think they can afford, because I don't think their game is steady enough right now to be able to withstand a long, prolonged work stoppage.
And they like to talk.
They love
like
that.
They understand that.
That's right.
Like the fans are at the top of the list.
That's right.
They're not.
No.
Then why did the league wait 3 months
100%.
to counter the first proposal? Like, why do they keep coming back with trying to sneak things in that aren't on the table?
Yeah.
You know, Ross Stripling is a pitcher for the Toronto Blue Jays. He is their player rep. And he said the proposal that came out like 12:30 Tuesday morning, right after it crossed midnight, they sent it back to him. And he said the owners tried to sneak in a bunch of stuff that they didn't even talk about. And they're like, were they just assuming we weren't going to read the entire proposal?
Right.
And it gets to that point in negotiations where you start losing trust, then you're not going to want to move forward. That's why Rob Manfred, all disheveled, came out and said, well,
we tried.
Here we go, guys. We're canceling the first 2 series of the season. Yeah. We'll get back to it.
So have you heard any counters from the players at all? I understand that ball was in the owner's court, so they hit one back, and there was crap in there that they had not discussed. Have you heard any movement on the players' part at all?
I think what the players are doing is the right thing. They're trying to raise the salary for everyone. They're not asking for, hey, we need $80 million guaranteed contract for everybody. It's the minimum salary.
Yep.
Let's bring it up.
Yep. And they're going to get concessions. You understand, and anybody who's been in a negotiation understands, you ask for A, you're going to get A minus, whatever, right? So have you heard any concession from them, any movement? Because I hear, well, the owners aren't moving, and they moved, and, well, it's only this much. Oh, okay. It's not enough. Have you heard any concession from the players?
What,
Because
if you're the players, what concession do you make at that point?
Well,
when if you go,
so did you come in with your bottom line number when you came in and said the minimum salary is going to be $725? Is that if that's your bottom line number, then that's a bad play on your part.
This one's hard, and I'm trying to take a step back.
Yeah.
Because if these dudes own Major League Baseball teams,
Yeah.
do not cry me a river like you cannot raise the minimum salary of baseball players.
It's fine, and
Like,
I think
and
they're
that's
going to
where
raise it, and they offered to raise it.
And so that's, but my thing too is like, why, like, what was the whole point of waiting so long?
No,
and then like
move.
imposing these deadlines that aren't actually deadlines. Like, you can still negotiate, but you just threw these dates and times out there to where you're going to walk away. Is it, and at that point in time in negotiation, right, I guess you're just trying to call someone's bluff.
I'm with you on almost all of that, okay? And they've offered to raise the minimum salary. Obviously not enough. So they've moved. If the players came in and said, look, $725 and that's our floor, then that's a bad move on their part. Then they should have come in at $800 and been able to move down, right? I mean, if they're not going to be able to budge on that, that's a bad negotiating ploy on their part. I hear a lot. Well, the owner, this owner's worth $30-something million, and the players are only making this much, and that's understood as well. The majority of those owners, if not every single one of them, made their money in something else. I don't know how much they're making in baseball. And JJ, to your point, then open the books. You're 100% right. And if they made their money in the steel industry or in the stock market or in technology or in construction or in whatever, yes, they have the money. Yes, they're worth it. And it's all fine, but that doesn't mean they're making it all in baseball. Now, I think baseball teams are making money. I think franchises are making money. It's obvious they're making money. They're paying ridiculous amounts of money, and we have conversations all the time. Holy smokes, when is it going to be too much? What is Trout got, almost $1 billion deal? Right? I mean, we're watching things go through the roof. Like, there's money. Now, should it be dispersed a little bit more evenly than the guy? I mean, there's no salary cap in baseball.
Well, a lot of it, too.
Every contract is guaranteed. Bobby Bonilla is still getting paid. There's concessions made on that side, too. They're all guaranteed.
There's bad contracts in there.
No, there's bad contracts, and they're all guaranteed. Every one of these guys is getting paid. And when they sign those big deals for 10 years, like, holy smokes! Like, it's not like it's perfect for the owners either.
No, but and don't hand out those contracts.
No, I agree.
Like, it's one where
with a gun to your head.
It's well, in baseball we know you don't want to sign Mike Trout. Fine, it's not going to be like LeBron James or Aaron Rodgers leaving your franchise.
Yep.
So this is one too where you have owners that they're on different playing fields as well.
Yep.
And so that's the battle. You have the entire Players Association, like, we'd like this for everyone else, but the owners come in, and what might work for one owner doesn't work for another owner because they don't want to spend money.
Well, because
they don't want to pay contracts to compete.
And that's one of the issues with the non-revenue sharing. The guy who owns Pittsburgh Pirates is making, and it is, a lot less than the guy who's running the New York Yankees or the Dodgers, right? The Brewers are generating less money than the Dodgers are, and there is a disparity. 505-246-0610. I'm not done on this yet, and I know you're not either. And it's kind of weird that I'm sitting here, somewhat defending the owners, but I'm trying to look at both sides of this, and I don't think this is as slanted one way as some people want to believe. I think there's two sides here who are culpable. And as much as I hear, the owners aren't budging, I'm not sure I see the players budging. Your point is, what do you want them to budge at? Well, if they came in with their bottom offer, if they came in with their floor, that's on them, because that's not how negotiations go. We're going to get into the NBA. The Mountain West Conference Championship basketball regular season men's title was won last night. Aggies are going to try to win the WAC tonight. We got big upset in the NCAA. We got football stuff. Your guy down in Arizona is something else, Kyler Murray, and it's more so his agent. It's more. I mean, it used to be wide receivers were the divas. I'm not sure where we're going with this now, too. It's the opening drive. Glad you're with us. Merry Wednesday. Thanks for opting to listen to the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
I'm Ben Lucero, president and owner of Indigo Mortgage. We are a locally owned and operated mortgage company right here in New Mexico. This means your loan officers and processors are right here to serve you. Our mortgage divisions include residential, commercial, construction, reverse mortgages, and VA mortgage loan. Indigo Mortgage, because nobody cares more about your mortgage loan.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Turbo Threads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. Turbo Threads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for Turbo Threads.
I prefer to do stuff online. I can find things much quicker, do the research I need, and have it shipped or waiting for me to pick up. The Shop by Payments option was perfect for me. I got online, clicked on Shop by Payments, put in my down payment and monthly budget, and the guessing was done. From laptop, I was able to nail down the bike I wanted, add a few customizations, and get an estimate on my trade-in.
Hi. Over this weekend, we had to cancel yesterday. They pulled out of the lacrosse. I'm so bummed. She's more bummed than me. There was a lacrosse tournament, and yesterday we had to pull the whole plug on the trip. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. You want to still go? And she's like, well, we want to, Dad. She's like, if there was spring training, the Dodgers were supposed to play the Angels tomorrow or on Saturday, and we could go to that. And I'm like, yeah, but there's not. So we're thinking of still going, but we'll take another trip. But
so fun.
Yeah, no, it's a great time, and it's it's warm, and it's spring, and it's not happening. It's not happening. If you want to get in on that, I'm certainly. I like the conversation. I don't like. Well, they're a-holes and they're horrible. There really are two sides to this. I told you during the break. I tend to side in a large part with the players on this to get more, and I think when these CBAs come up, these collective bargaining agreements, they do need to evolve, and so I do think that the player minimum salary needs to come up. I do think the arbitration thing needs to be dealt with. I think the way that the teams can manipulate years of service needs to be dealt with, because I think that's a loophole that was in favor, well, not even in favor of, that was a detriment to the players. So I think there are things that obviously need to be dealt with. But again, I'm going to stick to if they came into the negotiations with no room to negotiate, then I think that's a flaw on their part. That's really bad, and it's on Tony Clark. He's the union chief, and Tony Clark says the players remain committed to the bargaining process and getting back on the field as much as possible. He said the players want to play. Everyone knows that, but the reason we are not playing is simple. A lockout is the ultimate economic weapon. In a $10 billion industry, the owners have made a conscious decision to use this weapon against the greatest asset they have, the players. But the group won't be intimidated. I've seen more unity over the last few years than at any time in our history, end quote. That's Tony Clark, the players representative, or the players union chief. I guess nobody should be surprised by this, although I just didn't think baseball would do this to themselves. I just didn't. Who's got more to lose? The owners or the players?
It's the owners. Because you want people buying those tickets. You want people going to your concession stand.
fans.
Yeah, but you just told me the owners have so much money, right? And so...
Well, they'll start taking that hit at the gate.
Well, but they're not spending anything. What are they spending? I mean, they're spending on their front office, but I mean...
Rich people like more money.
The rich people like more money, but you know who else likes money?
We all like more money.
Everybody. Yeah. The players, that's their livelihood.
But the salary pool's not going to drop. Like, they'll take the initial hit.
Who will?
Like, the players.
Yeah.
But, like, they're not going to come out of this negotiation and be like, oh, you're not getting any money.
I don't
like,
think anybody's suggesting the
contract
salary
will be
pool
there.
drop.
But the owners are going to take the biggest hit. No one is, even if they're right in some cases, no one is sympathetic to owners. No one.
No, I understand. I understand. And so when it's all said and done, your point is, well, the players are going to get paid, but there'll be less people going to the games, so there'll be less money for them to make.
How much do you think this will hurt? Because that's the biggest talking point. Baseball's killing themselves. Baseball's doing it to themselves. Well, when baseball starts,
I'm coming back. No, I'm back. Right,
like,
so they're not pissing.
Coming back.
So they're not pissing me off. Yeah. Although they're pissing me off, they're not losing me. Right, I'm back. You're back. I think you're back. It's a really, really good question, because it's such the talking point. Baseball can't afford to do this. Baseball, the number of baseball fans are dwindling. And we had this conversation yesterday, why, and I hear, well, it's boring, and it's this, it's really not. But okay, if it's not your thing, then you don't dig it. Is that peripheral fan? Is that younger? And I tend to skew it younger, because I think that's what their numbers show, right? Is they're hurting in regards to younger fans. But is that peripheral fan? Does that person just say, screw it, I'm done? Or are they back in May, on May 6th, or whatever it is, when they have opening day? Well, I'm going to go to the ballpark with my buddies and have a couple of beers and watch the Pirates. It's another beautiful day in San Diego, and the Dodgers are in town. Let's go out to the ballpark. See the Padres and Dodgers. No, I think your point's right. Most of us are coming back. And so when it's all said and done, in the immediate, all right, you just told me the owners have more money than God, and they're not paying all these salaries because the players aren't getting paid when they don't play. And they're not going to get, that's going to be the next thing. They're going to lose. There's going to lose 3 weeks of the season. They're going to say, well, we want a full season worth of pay. And the owners are going to say, no, you didn't play. We're deducting 3 weeks of pay. That's coming. You know that, right?
Yeah.
But if players like to get paid, guys who are making $675,000 like to get paid. The guys who are making $67 million like to get paid. So who's hurting more? And the answer is they're all. All right, 505-246-0610. If you want to get in on that, you can. 888-922-0610. Your emails will come in this morning. Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com. JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. Aggies go tonight. They are down in Las Cruces trying to wrap up the WAC regular season title again. Stephen F. Austin is in town, and that dude is not bad. Stephen F. Austin, you know what Stephen F. Austin's record is?
What is their record?
20-8 overall, 12-4 in the WAC, and in fact, Stephen F. Austin still has an opportunity to get a share of the league championship. So this is the way to do this would have been to handle your business in Chicago the other day, but maybe the worst defeat in 5 seasons when they got beat at Chicago State. Now, they played without Johnny McCants, and Alok didn't play, and Marcellus Avery and Mario McKinney, and on and on and on. I'm going to guess most of those guys are back today, except for Mario McKinney. Any word on, have you heard anything on what they're going to do? Mario McKinney was arrested last week. He's with the team. He was released. Any word on what they're doing with him? Because I haven't seen anything. Yeah, I haven't seen anything. All right, Lumberjacks, by the way, that's Stephen F. Austin. They're riding an 8-game winning streak. They won in Abilene 73-71 last Thursday and 69-67 over Sam Houston State. That's the Sam Houston State team who beat the Aggies. So this is by no means some little walkover. The walkover game was last weekend in Chicago. Stephen F. Austin is coming in, and but the Aggies. Did you see the number? They've got like what, a 37 game win streak in conference play since the 2009-2010 season. So that's 12 seasons ago. In WAC home games, the Aggies are 87-4. I get it. I understand what the league has been. JJ, 87-4 and 956 win percentage is insane.
Yes, it is.
87-4. All right, 505-246-0610 if you want to get in on that. When we come back, the Mountain West Conference regular season men's championship has been decided. You can get in on that. We'll tell you who won and how it all went down. There's still a lot to be done in the Mountain West as far as some of the other seedings and certainly playing for the NCAA tournament for a number of teams. So we'll get into that when we return. I want to tell you about Aaron Jones, International Protective Service. IPS protects my home. They watch my house. They watch hundreds, actually thousands of homes and businesses around Albuquerque and Santa Fe. This is a local company. IPS started back in 2006, providing security for homeowners in Fort Hills. 16 years later, homeowners and business owners all over Albuquerque now trust IPS to protect what they've worked so hard to build. I know you see their cars and their vans and their officers all around town. They're from here. Aaron's passionate about making Albuquerque a better place, a safer place to live and to work by watching your home and your business with highly trained armed guards or 24-hour patrols. He's committed to this city and to your protection. I've trusted them for years. They offer you 24-hour patrols, security system installation, fast response. They respond to alarms within 7 minutes in most cases. Standing guards. Give them a call. Protect what's important to you. Don't wait to be a victim. The number is area code 505-897-2420. 505-897-2420, or go online at ipsglobal.com.
Hi, I'm Joe with Everguard Roofing and Solar, and I'm proud to say I'm standing next to our University of New Mexico Lobo football quarterback, Terry Wilson. We at Everguard Roofing and Solar are active in our community, and we love the Lobos.
What I love about Everguard Roofing and Solar is their commitment to excellence, and that's what I'm all about. That's why I support this company, because they care about the people of New Mexico.
A hole in your roof or a whole new roof?
Go Lobos!
Everguard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Dream Style Roofing tops them all. When your roof's worn out and needs to be replaced, we're gonna do it right, put a smile on your face. They're at home, things are looking up when you get your roof done by someone you can trust. Dream Style, a company name that's been around forever. No one does it better. You need a new roof, you know who to call. Dream Style Roofing tops them all.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're #1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
A burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times. You can rest easy knowing you, your family, or your company is watched over by International Protective Service. Call International Protective Service today.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
The sports animal.
Larry sent me a text. He said, Jeff, JJ, A. Marie, I'm personally not interested in Major League Baseball. They're a league that seems to somewhat regularly have these labor disputes. It's billionaires arguing with millionaires, so I think most people are at least a little put off by this. I'm sure their points of contention are legit in their level, but it isn't making me want to rush to watch Major League Baseball whenever it is resolved. That's from Larry. I'm sure there's a number of people who feel that way. I'm sure there's a lot of people who feel that way. 505-246-0610. Dan, how are you feeling about this whole thing? Good morning.
Morning, guys.
Good morning.
Well, I just wanted to chime in. You know, I could not even name one player or coach in the MLB. As much as I know about MLB is that Sam's kid plays in Houston, and my daughter who lives in Houston thinks he's really cute. You know, that's what I know about MLB. But, you know, when the kids were young, I took them to see the Rockies 2 or 3 times. I took them to Arlington to watch the Rangers. You know, when I lived in Chicago, I watched Greg Lazinski put one out of the park at the old White Sox park.
The Bull.
Park, you know. And,
Bull, yeah.
Yeah, Greg Lazinski, the Bull, you know. Mike Schmidt hit 2 home runs that game, too. But, you know, I'm one of those that I just don't get into. And I love women's softball, probably because I raised three girls that played softball. I'll go to a softball tournament all weekend, whatever. But MLB, I'm just not interested. I'm just one of those, and I love sports, Jeff. You know that. It's just something about it. I'm not interested in it. So
Right, then.
I'm one of those guys.
It's not your thing.
Just to give a perspective, okay? Okay, guys. Later.
All right. If it's not your thing, it's not your thing. All
We
right.
talk about that often on this show.
What your thing isn't?
If your thing isn't your thing, don't watch it.
No, I'm down with that. I'm not going to tell you how to be a fan. I never will. All right. On the text line at 505-246-0610, Jefe El Jefe, appreciate you guys looking at both sides of a situation. Love the show. All right. But the next one is from Chris, and he says, want to be clear, $1 billion is 1,000 million. The owners have collectively thousands of millions of dollars. No one should be on their side. It's from Chris. So it's funny. I'm looking at their side, and I understand their side. Like I told you, I'm on the player's side. But why should no one be on their side? Simply because they have the billions? Is that the reason that he says? I want to be clear. $1 billion is 1,000 million. The owners have collectively thousands of millions of dollars, so no one should be on their side. Should no one be on their side because they have all the money? Because they made the money? Well, you made all the money. I don't like you anymore. Share it. Give it oh, okay.
Well, they also got into an industry where you have to share the money with the players. This isn't their private business.
That's right.
That
I'm down.
We're talking
and
about.
They should share, and the players should get more. I guess I don't understand the text. You just should be on their side because they have the billions?
Well, I think it's hard to hear when you have Jeff Passan, ESPN baseball writer, one of the
I respect him a lot.
Dudes out there saying, writing, player pay has decreased for 4 consecutive years, even as industry revenues grew and franchise values soared. Then Rob Manfred is out there saying, the last 5 years has been really hard on baseball. What's it been hard on? You guys don't know how to market your game? Because obviously the money's there, and it's to the point where the game's not dying. Like, you're not going to be able to all of a sudden wake up and be like, oh, we can't pay anybody. But you play this game like you're in such a terrible position. Well, it's because you're putting yourself there by always saying you're hurting, you're struggling, this or that. Like, where's the positivity?
All right, so let me, because I don't understand it. And maybe you can help me, maybe you don't understand it either, maybe Jeff Passing can help me. When you say it's been a tough 5 years, does that mean they've been losing money? Does that mean they have been making less money? If baseball is losing money, and I don't know that I think that, but is it a possibility that a team has lost money?
Is it possible? Yes.
Okay. So, to Chris's text, well, they got billions, they can lose it. The players should be making more, even if the team is losing money. I'm not sure. I mean, if the team is struggling or if the league is losing money, should the players be making more? Now, if they're making more money, then the players should be making more money. This is where I think we all assume, and I do, that the league's making a bunch more money. Now, when you sit there and tell me it's been tough on baseball for 5, what does that mean? Does that mean they've made less money? We always hear, well, their earnings are down 2.4%. Oh, no. No, they didn't lose 2.4%. They made 2.4% less than they made last year. They still made money. Their earnings are down. But that's we sometimes get lost in semantics. I honestly don't know what that means. Does that mean clubs are losing money, baseball overall is losing money, or does that mean they're making less money? And I know some of you would say, well, it doesn't matter if they're losing money, Jeff. The owners have billions, and they should give.
It would matter if they're losing money, and if they were losing money, they'd say that. But they're not saying that,
right?
They're just trying to. It's all negotiation,
right?
They're not trying to say, hey, we have money, we just don't want to pay you, because then there wouldn't be people like you that would even want to be like, all right, let's take a step back and see where this is going. So they're playing this game like, oh. We've been struggling for 5 years. We've been struggling because you don't know how to talk about your game. You don't know how to sell your game to people. Your commissioner came out and said the World Series trophy is a piece of metal.
Yep. No, I mean, one of the worst things ever. You're during COVID, you couldn't get it together on how to figure this thing out, and you had a 60-game season. When you could have owned the sports world, you could have been the only thing playing, right? You could have figured it out. I think they're horrible at what they do as far as marketing, as far as operations, as far as so much of this. I'm just trying to look at the other side, and Chris, I'm not sure I'm taking the owner's side. I'm just trying to figure out what it all means. And in some respect, I don't care, and I know that's how I open the show because I don't care. Play baseball. I think the players should get more. Now, they have guaranteed contracts. They have these long contracts. The top of the scale is getting paid an exorbitant amount of money.
I don't think baseball is in as bad as a position as people make it out to be overall. They just make it really hard for people to grasp onto the positives and be able to see, oh, this game is still pretty good. It's going to matter in the summer. There's stars coming up. Because there is. Because you can take this next commercial break and run down and come out with like 15, 20 players that are like 25 or under around that range.
Who are
that
fantastic and
star players in the league.
And they can save your game, yes. And in each one of those markets, I mean, what Fernando...
Oh, and you have a player that none of us have ever seen, Shohei Ohtani, like doing something incredible.
Yeah. No, look, baseball should be healthy. Yeah. They do have a bunch of young, exciting stars. It should be healthy. It's accessible. It's you get 162 games a year. Now, I don't know that I love this whole 14-game or 12-team playoff. You play 162 games a year, you should be able to whittle the playoffs down.
Yeah, and that was something that the players brought to the table.
And they backed down.
Because they're like, all right, you want more money? Well, this is the way to get it. It's like $100 million guaranteed just in the television revenue from the added wild card games, not including the entire postseason. And here's the thing with baseball as well is, we say when we talk about small market teams not making money, this and that. Since 2003, 13 different teams have won the World Series, and 19 have played in it.
Okay.
Which is the same number of teams in the salary-capped NFL. There's only been 9 champions in the NBA over that time.
So what do you say? You're saying that the competitive balance is there even without a salary cap.
So somehow, some way, like this, this small market, this big market. Oh, we can't pay this, we can't pay that. Like they figured out a way to have multiple teams competing, to compete in seasons, to have a variety. But we can't, for some reason, like when we talk about baseball, get out of our mind that, well, there's the Dodgers, and they must be winning everything. Well, no, they don't.
They just win that division every
year.
Yeah. All right, 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. I got more text for you. Emails come in, jeff@sportsanimalabq.com, jj@sportsanimalabq.com. My car's filthy and needs a little on-the-spot automotive detailing. It's time to call the number 505-859-2859. On-the-spot automotive detailing will come to you and detail your vehicle. What does that mean? Well, they'll clean it, they'll wash it, they'll wax it, they'll scrub it, they'll vacuum it, they'll polish it, inside, outside, under the hood, around the tires, the rims. Detailing, like the day you took it off the lot. That's what it's like when they're done. It's like brand new. Remember how fun it was to drive that brand new vehicle? It's that fun to drive it around again, and everybody's looking at you because it's done at work or it's done in your driveway. It's wherever and whenever it's convenient for you. That's how this works. On the spot means on the spot. They come to you. So you call them, you say, here, I'm working today. Can you come out on Thursday? They're there. You get a text. You go outside, and it looks beautiful. Feels beautiful. They also apply a ceramic coating if you want. There's a ceramic coating. It's the best way to protect your paint for years. They do it by hand. 10% discount for active military. They also have gift certificates. It is a awesome gift. You will never go wrong with this. I always think the perfect gift is that thing that somebody won't buy for themselves. This is that. On the spot automotive detailing, the number is 505-859-2859. 505-859-2859, or go online at otsdetailing.com.
Dream style roofing tops them all. When your roof's worn out and needs to be replaced, we're gonna do it right, put a smile on your face. There at home, things are looking up when you get your roof done by someone you can trust. Dream Style, a company name that's been around forever, no one does it better. You need a new roof, you know who to call. Dream Style Roofing tops them all.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green.
And keep the community green as well.
Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment.
You trash it,
we smash it. Jackson Compaction, we've earned a reputation for great results.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi, I'm Joe with Everguard Roofing and Solar, and I'm proud to say I'm standing next to our University of New Mexico Lobo football quarterback, Terry Wilson. We at Everguard Roofing and Solar are active in our community, and we love the Lobos.
What I love about Everguard Roofing and Solar is their commitment to excellence, and that's what I'm all about. That's why I support this company, because they care about the people of New Mexico.
A hole in your roof or a whole new roof?
Go Lobos!
Everguard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Turbo Threads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sports shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. Turbo Threads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for Turbo Threads.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
I prefer to do stuff online. I can find things much quicker, do the research I need, and have it shipped or waiting for me to pick up. The Shop by Payments option was perfect for me. I got online, clicked on Shop by Payments, put in my down payment and monthly budget, and the guessing was done.
Wins the Mountain West Conference regular season basketball championship on the men's side. 73-67, the Broncos were winners in Idaho last night over Nevada. Abu Kijab led the way for the champions with 23 points. It is Boise State's first outright conference championship since they won the Big Sky Championship in the 1987-88 season. They shared a Mountain West championship with San Diego State a few years back, 14-15. But this is their first outright championship of the Mountain West, and it is their first outright conference championship since they won the Big Sky in 87-88. Looking forward to seeing them and everybody else. We're going to be at the Mountain West Conference Tournament. JJ and I will be live next week. The opening drive will come to you from Las Vegas. Get your courtside thoughts as the Lobos get set to open up on Wednesday, most likely against Steve Alford and Noodles and Cullen and Nevada. That'll be at noon on Wednesday, and we're looking forward to being there all week for you. Thank you to the sponsors, the partners who are making sure that we are there for you. It's Coleman Vision, perfect game. Car Crafters celebrating 40 years in Albuquerque. Albuquerque Hispano Chamber of Commerce. Join, connect, thrive. Jersey Mike's a sub above, and airport parking at exit 221. Easier, quicker, and smarter. JJ, Boise State, all year banged it out. They started the season 3-4. They lost to Cal State Bakersfield. They were not very good, and since then they have gone on a 21-2 run, including 14 straight, and they are playing as well. Actually, they are playing better than anybody in this league.
Which is why you look at bracketology, they're going to be an 8 seed, probably maybe a 7 seed if they go on a little bit of a run in Vegas and pick off some more good wins. They've been unbelievable. And there's just, you watch Boise State, Kijab, Shaver, they stand out. Deegan Hart, the freshman, like, where did this kid come from? Like, the talent Boise State has been able to get under Leon Rice has been ridiculously impressive for them to just find that level of consistency over the last 5 to 6 years.
Kijab's a fifth-year senior, and he's the guy who wore the net out yesterday. You would tell me, and I didn't see the celebration, so they're not real good at this. They haven't done this since 87-88 season. So stormed the court to celebrate a league championship. So some of the security guards were cool with it on one side, and some were not?
Yes. So there's a bit of miscommunication going on. Boise State, they're still been pretty strict in their arena. Like, they just brought concessions back like a week or so ago, and they had said, hey, we don't want people on the court. We don't want the students storming the court. And they finally get students to show up to the game for that contest last night. Had a good arena, a lot of energy playing for Mountain West title. And the game was over, and like half the arena was kind of letting people come out on the floor. The other half wasn't. And
they were fighting them?
There were security guards essentially fighting students.
That works well.
Always nice.
Yeah, that works well. They're not used to this, JJ. It's not like they've done this a lot. You know, in Laramie, they stormed the court when they beat Northern Colorado, for crying out loud. Right? I mean, that's what they do. They've stormed the court all
Tuesday
all
night in Laramie.
That's right. I mean, what else are you going to do? Boise, it's been a minute. It was even before Taco Bell Arena was there. Now it's Extra Mile Arena. Dan says, I don't feel it, Jeffrey. Juan Jose Yana Maria. I keep hearing Lobo fans tell me they think Lobo basketball can win 2 in Vegas. Is that just fake hope? Because they want to beat Steve Alford in Nevada so bad? Because they're counting on the trend of fried rice choking in March continuing? It's from Dan. This lines up, it's going to be interesting. Right now it looks like you get Nevada in the first round, and if you win, you get Boise State in the second round. Is Boise State a horrible matchup for New Mexico?
It's
no worse than most, right?
Because of the size and forwards they have, it's a tough matchup. But there's no one that's not a hard matchup for the Lobos right now.
Yeah, I mean, Nevada's not easy.
I think two is pushing it. Like, if you have hope that they can win one game, the opening game, if it's Nevada, I'm right there with you. I don't think they're going to go out there and beat Boise State the next time out.
So the Nevada one is so interesting to me because all year we talk about, well, how do they line up with their bigs? Nevada's got a backcourt that is pretty dang good too. Like, would you say? Now, so it's probably not, right? Because we're looking at the 8 and 9 teams to sit here and say, well, those are two of the best backcourts in the league, but that's where their strength is. I mean, when Sherfield's right, he's terrific. When
Sherfield and Cambridge are good.
Cambridge.
House and Mashburn can match them.
Yeah, I mean that's a hell of a matchup, right? Your guards are really good. Their guards are really good too.
It's the fact they have like 2 7-footers.
Then there's that.
They're going to throw out you Baker and Washington.
What are you going to do with that? And I think it's so easy to look at them and say, well, Nevada's 6 and 11 and 12 and 6. Kind of, you're what, 12 and 8. They're 12 and 16. I'm sorry, 12 and 16, and 6 and 11. You're 12 and 18 and what, 4 and 13, something like that. It's you look at records and it's similar. This is going to be a talking point because I think this is where this is trending. And Nevada still has to play San Diego State, but I think it's starting to look like it's New Mexico and Nevada, and it will not be a talking point for anybody in the program, just because nobody in the program was here when Steve Alford, Craig Neal were here. But man, for those of you who are going to make the trip, this is going to mean something to you. This will mean I don't want to say it'll make your season, but it'll make your season. Wouldn't it? If you're going to tell Lobo fan, hey, you're improving, yeah, whatever, we're in the 8-9 game, and then you go out and beat Steve Alford, and you go into the offseason with that, tell me Lobo fan doesn't feel exponentially better.
Not too shabby.
505-246-0610. We might be tracking to that. Sebastian Noel's going to be with us at 8:30. High school basketball tournament brackets are set. Games are ready to begin in 2 days. He's coming up at 8:30 this morning. Glad you're with us on a beautiful Wednesday morning. Spring-like, if I dare say, on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS Network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
I'm Ben Lucero, president and owner of Indigo Mortgage. We are a locally owned and operated mortgage company right here in New Mexico. This means your loan officers and processors are right here to serve you. Our mortgage divisions include residential, commercial, construction, reverse mortgages, and VA mortgage loan. Indigo Mortgage, because nobody cares more about your mortgage loan.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green.
And keep the community green as well.
Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, Leave it to us.
At Jackson Compaction,
We're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment.
you trash it, we smash it.
Jackson Compaction. We've earned a reputation for great results.
Hi, I'm Joe with Everguard Roofing and Solar, and I'm proud to say I'm standing next to our University of New Mexico Lobo football quarterback, Terry Wilson. We at Everguard Roofing and Solar are active in our community, and we love the Lobos.
What I love about Everguard Roofing and Solar is their commitment to excellence, and that's what I'm all about. That's why I support this company, because they care about the people of New Mexico.
A hole in your roof or a whole new roof?
Go Lobos.
Everguard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of Pro V Sports.
You trusted your home or business security to a company with an armed response. They sold out to a national corporate giant, and you're stuck on the brink of less security. I'm Aaron Jones, owner of International Protective Service. IPS isn't for sale. I'm invested here, and I care about your home and business as if it's my own. Let the highly trained armed guards or 24-hour patrols of IPS protect what's yours. With faster response times to catch criminals and less associated costs. Call 897-2420 or go to ipsglobal.com.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier.
With three-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Cimbietta, and J.J. Buck.
Oh, yeah, and the Lakers lost again last night.
What?
Yeah, I don't know if you saw that, if you care anymore. That's 9 out of 13.
I was watching college hoops.
That's right. So was me.
So good.
So was me. Boise State was good last night. Michigan beat Michigan State. How about that? That was a big win for them.
Nebraska.
How about Wisconsin?
Wisconsin beats Purdue.
That was a crazy ending.
That was a great ending.
Wisconsin clinching a share of the Big Ten regular season title.
They stormed the court.
They stormed the court. This game doesn't happen February 28th. This game doesn't happen February 23rd. It happens March 1st. We have back-to-back bank three-point shots. Purdue ties the game.
On a bank.
Here comes Wisconsin. No timeout. Come down the
bank shots were just unreal, though. You got to call those shots.
No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't.
Not in March.
March. Doesn't happen February. Game like that only happens in March.
Yeah. No, that's
terrific. What we live for.
That was actually terrific. Nebraska beating Ohio State was like Fred Hoiberg. They basically told Fred Hoiberg, we want to fire you, but we can't afford to fire you, which we kind of heard around here almost for a long time. And so then he goes out and beats Ohio State, first ranked team that he's beaten.
Boom.
The Arizona game, they just ran over
they
USC.
Are quick.
Yeah. No, that was really good. Arizona's nice, dude. Arizona, I don't know if people have noticed.
I'm more worried.
What are you worried about?
No, I'm saying I think they're going to be a top team in my bracket.
Arizona is a team that can win the national championship.
Woo!
And I can't get out of my head.
Right now.
Like a month or so ago.
Mark
been a minute.
Down.
Jerry Palm was like, USC is one of the most overrated teams.
Yeah, and he said, why are they ranked?
And you watch that game last night, and you're like, absolutely, this team is not a top 25 basketball team. Nowhere close.
Yeah, I a little bit stunned. They got off to a good start, and wow. And that was an SC team who went to the Elite Eight last year, right? Not the same team. It's a program. I mean, it's not the same team. It's the same program. But so did Oregon State.
Got drafted by Cleveland in the lottery.
Well, and so did Oregon State. And I think Oregon State's in last place in the Pac-12 this year.
That was last year?
That was last year. Oregon State was in the Elite Eight. Pac-12 had 3 teams in the Elite Eight. UCLA went to the Final Four and played Gonzaga for a championship.
Man.
No, they didn't. They lost. No, they didn't. They lost to Gonzaga in the Final Four, and Baylor beat Gonzaga. That was last year's NCAA tournament. It was really, really good, by the way. Last year's games were really, really good.
Can't believe that was a year ago already.
Yeah. I'm looking at there's 2 teams, well, really 3 teams west of the Mississippi who can win this thing. I think Arizona's that good. I think Gonzaga's that good. I think Baylor's that good. Am I missing someone out west?
Oh, does Texas Tech count?
Oh, Texas Tech absolutely counts. Yeah, I'm missing Texas Tech.
They're going to be like, there would be a 3 seed.
Yeah, I'm absolutely missing Texas Tech.
UCLA.
You buying into UCLA?
Not national championship.
Yeah. I don't know that I'm buying into UCLA's national championship. And I guess Kansas got beat last night.
Got Jaime Jaquez.
Well, and they got Johnny Juzang and Jaime Jaquez.
Johnny Juzang.
That's JJ and JJ.
And then you get this.
That's JJ.
Clark, this freshman, that's been up and down. But
well,
when
Tiger Campbell's a terrific
when he's on, he's an impact maker. They have Cody Riley, Miles Johnson inside, like experienced forwards that are there, grab rebounds, play defense. They'll be a Sweet 16 team, but I don't see a national championship contender.
I look at the 2 seeds right now. The most likely, Kentucky won last night again. Auburn is going to make a run. I love Purdue, although Purdue, every year I pick them, they go out in the round of 32.
They need to make their dang free throws.
They do. That's a lot of teams. Let me ask you this.
Kansas losing to TCU last night.
Do you believe in magic? Is there some sort of crazy Duke run this year? Krzyzewski's final season?
Dun, dun, dun.
I mean, is it going to end in some weird loss in the round of 16, or is Magic taking him back to the Final Four?
What's a crazy Duke run? They're going to be a 2 seed.
Okay, right.
So.
But, I mean, no, I understand. And so I'm not telling you crazy like coming out of the 13 hole, but like a crazy run to the Final Four.
I think they will be an Elite 8 team, so right there on the cusp, because while there's not a Zion Williamson on this team.
Who's that? Sorry.
Right? Who's that?
Is that the guy that was picked before John Moran? Really?
Ooh.
That guy? That's the guy you're talking about? Yeah, he's becoming that guy?
Dingers.
Ooh.
Ding, ding, ding.
Where everyone knows him. Wendell Moore.
No,
Paulo
there's
Banchero
so-
is going to be a
there's
top
so-
3 pick,
Yeah.
even though he doesn't have kind of that hoopla as some of these other guys. They're a deeper team when it comes to the 5 to 7 players they throw out there, even with the freshmen, than they have been in the last couple of years.
I'm telling you, I get it. They're really, really nice. And Magic, just because it's his last year, right? If this was 5 years ago, and you'd say, all right, there's another Duke team, and they're going to be in half the brackets going to the Final Four. But because this is Krzyzewski's celebrated year, I believe in this crap, right?
Yes,
you know I believe in sports hocus pocus. That things happen together, that Mexico and Nevada are going to be paired in the first round of the conference tournament. That, right? I believe in this kind of stuff. And I'll wait to see the draw. I want to see what the brackets, how they play out. Because I think there's so many teams that are really good. And I'm watching every single night when a Nebraska can beat an Ohio State. We had Kansas getting beat last night by TCU. We got Arizona State's come up and beat UCLA's. So I think on any given night, certainly this year more than anybody, and I don't think there's a dominant. As good as I think Baylor, Gonzaga, Arizona, and Kansas are, any of those can get beat. Where last year I went in, I was on Gonzaga, and they got beat in the final, but I just looked at them like, wow, and maybe this is their year. But I look at it this year, and I'll take you down to the 3 line, and I'll go as deep as some of the 4s.
There's not a runaway favorite.
No. No, and go to the 4s. The projected 4s right now, whether it's UConn or UCLA or Illinois or Providence. Have you watched Providence at all? Did you watch that 3 overtime game that intercepted the Colorado State game the other day? Like Providence.
We all watched Providence.
Athletes. I think anybody on the 3 line up's got a real shot. A real shot.
Yeah, and this is the beauty of the NCAA tournament is there's going to be upsets. There's going to be teams that we're sitting here in the Sweet 16 like, how did we miss this? Oh, how did we not see this team making a run? You can run down the list, and we can put the resume out there and go, this team's built for March.
Mm-hmm.
But until that Sunday night where we look at the bracket, we don't know what the road is going to be like because it's all about the matchups.
100%. And then who comes out and shoots? I remember, was it last year San Diego State lost to Syracuse?
They tend to do that in the postseason.
Well, but they ran into a Syracuse team that shut them down, right? And they went into a San Diego State rut. And it was matchups because I thought that was a pretty good team. But the second I saw them up against Syracuse,
Boeheim's kid.
You're like, yeah, Boeheim's kid went nuts. They threw that 2-3 zone at him, and the Aztecs couldn't do anything about it. And it was perfect to guard them because they just went into one of those San Diego State ruts. But if they'd have played, I look at him, Lenardi's got him against Rutgers right now in the play-in game. All right. That's a really good Rutgers team who's beating the hell out of people, by the way. But I look at him like, okay, I don't hate that matchup because I know they're all going to be tough. Jerry's got to play Michigan State in a 10-7 game.
I like that.
I don't hate that either.
Michigan State's not...
They got beat last night by Michigan.
They're not a great scoring team. They don't have that dude at point guard, which you expect to see from them. So I'd be confident if I was San Diego State in a 10-7 matchup like that. But that also shows Now, this Jerry's bracket, which is brand new this morning, he still has 4 teams in from the Mountain West.
He's got right now Boise State is an 8. They would play Notre Dame, and again the matchups so rarely do they hit because they're so all over the place. And I thought he had Colorado State in that same region, but maybe he doesn't.
Yes, he does. Colorado State is a
6, and Colorado State and Boise State play still before the tournament. Colorado State and Boise State will go this weekend, and he's got Wyoming. Where's he got Wyoming?
Yeah, Wyoming has an 8.
Wow, I mean, that's something.
I think Boise State could sneak on a 7 line.
All right. I think that would behoove them to get away from the 1 in the first round. I don't think Boise State's winning the tournament. I don't think Boise State's winning the conference tournament. I think they've won all the close games they've been in, and I think, I'll tell you what, I think I love Colorado State. San Diego State has been playing really well in conference tournaments over the last bunch of years. Wyoming has snuck in, and they stole a bit a few years back. UNLV's playing really well. I don't think if you ask me, you take the 1 seed or the field, I'm taking the field. You want Boise State?
I'd have to take the field. I'll take the more opportunities.
Is there someone you like going into the conference tournament right now?
Colorado State.
I do too.
If it was someone other than Boise, I think it's Colorado State.
Yeah, I kind of do too. I think Roddy's terrific. Stevens is good. I think they're deep. San Diego State, if they get in the 2-3 game, right, that probably means they play Colorado State on Friday night. And that would mean whoever's 4, and it's probably going to be Wyoming. Look, Friday night, JJ, you're not going to be there. Friday night's going to be insane. If you get 1, 2, 3, 4, if we're getting a semifinal, which is, let's just say Boise State, Wyoming, San Diego State, Colorado State, like I probably won't get over to the Pac-12 that night.
I don't know. That's just on the corner. Try to hit the ride. Can I get a ride to Thomas Max?
You can crash in my room. I told you. I mean, I should have got double beds, but it was like I told you, $8 more.
We'll work for a credential.
Yeah, you got a credential. Your credential's good. I just think that Friday night's got. Remember years ago, there was that it was it New Mexico, UNLV, San Diego State, BYU, or you and I were there, right?
I don't think the ones we went to early. I don't think BYU was.
I went to one where it was like a San Diego State, UNLV. And then BYU, and it was just so good. I mean, the games, and New Mexico was in it. So it was New Mexico, UNLV, San Diego State, BYU, I think. And it was a year New Mexico won. And it was just insane. It was, and I think this year has got the opportunity to be that way. And I think all the games, I mean, I even look at the matchups on Wednesday. Certainly on Thursday in the quarterfinals should be really good. And we're looking forward to being there, and we will. Kirtland Federal Credit Union is New Mexico's strong. They have been since 1958. They're your home loan leader, built in the heart of Albuquerque. It's their goal to help New Mexico achieve the dream of home ownership with the right loans, local expertise, and a relationship that's built on trust. Kirtland Federal Credit Union's mortgage team has 100% local people. That means your loan stays 100% local. You'll never send a payment out of state. You have a question? When you reach out to talk to someone about your new home, you will talk to someone right here in Albuquerque. You can meet the Kirtland Federal Credit Union mortgage team and get started at kirtlandfcu.org/home loan center. That's kirtlandfcu.org/home loan center. Kirtland Federal Credit Union is an equal opportunity lender. Membership eligibility required. See a representative for complete details.
Number 1, cover it with green stuff. One scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough. Backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot. It's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
your surprisingly great rates? Contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
A burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times. You can rest easy knowing you, your family, or your company is watched over by International Protective Service. Call International Protective Service today.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years...
Sports Animal! Oh, yeah, buddy. Looking forward to talking to Sebastian. Getting you up to date on Sweet Deals on Friday, isn't it? All right, so what did you want to do with the Sweet Deal? Oh, you want to do it now? Is that what you're telling me? Oh, okay. All right, looking forward to Sebastian at 8:30. We'll get you through the state tournament. Again, we're going to Vegas. Looking, who's your picking that? You riding the horse? You riding the favorite? You riding Boise State? I don't even know if they'll be the favorite. I think they'll be the 1 seed. I don't know that they'll be the favorite. Do you like San Diego State to fight their way through it? You like Colorado State, Wyoming?
Tune in Monday morning to find out.
Yeah, we'll have all that stuff, and looking for some good conversations. And looking forward to being there. Thank you to the sponsors who are making sure that we are in Vegas for you. Jersey Mike's, a sub above. Albuquerque Hispano Chamber of Commerce, join, connect, drive. Airport parking at exit 221, easier, quicker, smarter. Coleman Vision, perfect game. Car Crafter celebrating 40 years in Albuquerque. Number to get in is 505-246-0610. Edward, good day, sir.
Good day, gentlemen and lady. You know, I think I've frequented, as you went through your list of sponsors there, I think I've used each one of those sponsors in some capacity or another. So,
as you should.
All good companies, and I'm glad they're sponsoring you. Hey, real quick, so Vegas, that week in Vegas, are you guys going to be there all week no matter what the New Mexico results are?
Well, yeah, JJ will be there early, and I'll join him Tuesday afternoon. And then I'll be there for the end.
I'm thinking about traversing my way a little bit northwest.
Then I'm coming home early. No, I'm kidding.
That's funny. You clean my dishes, please.
I said clean to make it funny.
So that week in Vegas, starting with whatever conference Gonzaga and St. Mary's play, and I don't have them all committed to memory.
West Coast. Yeah.
You know, they start early in the week, and then, of course, the Mountain West, and then we jump into the WAC, picks it up midweek, and then the Pac-12, which is the toughest ticket in Vegas to get. I think they play at the MGM.
No, they don't. They play at T-Mobile Arena.
Oh, T-Mobile. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Thanks. Hey, by the way, that high school specialist that's coming on, you better have my Pecos Panther, data ready for me, because my immediate focus might change as the Pecos Panthers venture into the state tournament. Hey, this is how fast things change. It was about 5 years ago or so, and I've always been a fan of Alfred, even when he coached. I think he coached Missouri State, and then he took, the UNM job and did well here.
Southwest Missouri State to Iowa to here.
Iowa, yes, indeed, and I think he's had success. And then he took the UCLA job and got a pretty good paycheck. I remember when they had Lonzo Ball, and I was that's when they were playing at MGM, and he was kind of walking around, and they were playing. I think they went to the Final Four that year, or close to it, the Sweet 16.
Sweet 16.
And then a few years later, here we are playing the entry-level game, the first-round game with Nevada. I mean, things change on a dime. Doesn't mean you can't turn that program around, but, boy, that didn't take long for that thing to turn, the ship to turn for Mr. Alford. Again, I've always been a fan of him, and I think, I wish good things to him and the Lobo program for that matter. Real quick on Kyler Murray, I know there's a lot of conversation. If he was coming out this year, he'd be the number one pick, right?
Probably.
And now what he's asking for is just a little bit early. I think a lot of times guys get their contract, their fourth year end, because they usually sign a 5-year contract, and they try to get re-upped early, and they kind of fumbled their way through this. But, he will get paid. If you're going to pay Dak Prescott, you better pay Kyler Murray. I'm not a big advocate of giving those huge big contracts, but it's kind of the lay of the land in the NFL. So I like Kyler.
Well, here's the deal. Here's the deal on
quarterback
Kyler, Edward.
ever.
Here's the deal on Kyler. He just became eligible for an extension. They don't have to extend him for 2 more years, right? They could play this thing out. They could franchise him, and now he's taking it to social media and playing it through the media. I mean, he's just got to be better than this, and his agent's got to be better than this. Typically, when these deals are done, they're done over the summer. You got teams going to combines now, then dealing with the draft, and now you got your franchise quarterback screaming and playing prima donna and scrubbing his social media and taking everything Cardinals off of his social media stuff, and you got his agent out there yelling and screaming. This isn't the way to do it. Now, maybe it is. Maybe bully ball's the way to do it. Maybe the squeaky wheel gets the grease. Maybe that's how it is. But if you look at Dak, all these get done in the summer, mid to late summer. He's been eligible for what, a few days, JJ? When did he just become eligible for this extension? And now he's out screaming. I don't even know if they've had a conversation with the team yet, and they're playing this through the media. And that's why this has such a bad look. And then there is a reputation that Kyler's trying to shake that he's had, that he's a prima donna, that he's a little bit of a spoiled brat kind of a player, and this isn't playing into it. And that's where the issue lies. Will he get paid? Yeah. Should he get paid the 40-something million? I don't know that you're paying him early. So is there a discount for the team for paying him early when they don't have to?
Very implicitly stated, and I completely agree with your take on that. So I think he might have overplayed, his agents might have overplayed his leverage a little bit at this point. And just like our careers, it's just about timing a lot of times and controlling the narrative. So very well done. Enjoy the day, guys.
Thank you. You think I'm wrong on Kyler? Like at some point, you get paid. But this whole thing, if I'm the front office, bleep you, man.
Seriously,
you got a contract and go to work. Now, if you want to come to me and have a conversation, then probably we can get this taken care of. But you're going to go play this out in the media and social media and play this prima donna game? I got other stuff to do.
Yeah, and what about your team?
I mean, do you think I'm wrong on this? Or is this just the way it's going to be now? Every quarterback who's 3 years in is up for an extension. This is how it's going to be. Because I don't think
it's not how it's going to be with everyone. Because all agents are different. They've worked with different teams, but for some reason, they're jumping on this one, which it doesn't make sense. Kyler Murray's not as bad as it ended. We all still view Kyler Murray as a good quarterback. Like, we don't have this hesitation with Kyler Murray like we do with like a Baker Mayfield or someone along those lines. Like, I don't know if I'm going to pay this guy. Like, we've never talked about Baker Mayfield as an NFL MVP candidate. And that's what Kyler Murray was. Like, that doesn't happen by accident to quarterbacks in the NFL. So it ended badly. You're trying to jump on it. It's too early. It'll go back and forth, and you'll seesaw on this. I think he ends up playing this year, and then they'll really have the negotiations after this season. But it's the same thing, what's going on in Baltimore with Lamar Jackson. Like, you don't think Lamar Jackson deserves?
But he's beyond this point.
Yeah, and I'm saying, and so each franchises are going to hold out as long as possible with good quarterbacks on their rookie deals before they give them that mega contract.
So when we have this conversation about this new crop of young quarterbacks, and we always, Patrick Mahomes is at the top of the list, and then it's Josh Allen, and Joe Burrow jumped in because he went to the Super Bowl. Kyler Murray's in that list, right? I mean, he's top four. Like, I mean, you can have a real conversation. I know Joe Burrow went to the Super Bowl. Who would you start? I think most people would take Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes first over Kyler Murray. But if you were going to say Joe Burrow or Kyler Murray, you'd have a conversation. And most people go Burrow now because of the way last season ended. But he's in that group, right? And Justin Herbert? And everybody throws Justin Herbert in there, but poor guy plays for the Chargers.
Do you think a lot of people base it off winning too? Like Kyler Murray hasn't won a playoff game, but and we see a lot of potential, but
Kyler Murray gets hurt.
He gets hurt.
He's a small guy that gets hurt.
He still has to prove he can win. So,
all right, we're gonna get more into Kyler Murray.
Herbert hasn't won anything.
Justin Herbert hasn't gotten a playoff.
Talking about him like he's.
No, I know. Look, I don't.
No, if Justin Herbert's there, Kyler Murray is absolutely right there.
Yes.
Young quarterbacks with huge upside.
All right, but they don't have to extend him now. They can play his rookie contract out for 2 more years. Then they can franchise him. They can play the game. Or they can extend him, but the way to play the extension game isn't to do this prima donna crap that they're doing.
I wonder, like, what...
Baseball. No, honestly, is the threat of him going to play baseball, do you think that motivates this agent? Because all of a sudden, if he goes plays baseball, damn,
where's that even coming from?
Well, it's coming from somewhere. It's been out there.
To go what? To go
to the minor leagues and
play system for the Oakland Athletics.
Who's their AAA team? Was it the Fresno,
Sacramento, Fresno,
right, whatever? I know.
Look, there's not even a baseball season to go to.
AAA there is.
Okay,
I'm with you. Look.
Oh, fantastic! Go play AAA baseball for $10.
No. He'll get signed. No. You know
$20.
that's not right. That guy will get paid.
Not if there's not Major League Baseball. Because there's not guys on the
he can't sign a
guys
40-man
on the 40-man roster not playing minor league baseball.
Eventually, he will get paid. All right, Sebastian's next. We're going to get into the NCAA, into the state tournaments. That's coming up next. Sebastian Noel from ProView Networks. We'll talk high school basketball. The tournament starts on Friday. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Construction on I-40 between 98th and Coors is ongoing. Traffic is being reduced to 2 lanes going both